Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for December 15th, 2022, after 3 p.m. Eastern. The richest person is the one who is contented with what he has. The richest person is the one who is contented with what he has. Robert Sabat. A very fascinating thing happens when we stop judging ourselves, others, and this world. We start feeling free to explore, experience, and merge with everything that life has to offer. There is no defending, avoiding, or protecting against those bad things out there, because we start seeing how everyone is divinely connected and everything is perfectly orchestrated. Judging no one and no thing is the fastest path to liberation. We will become enlightened if and when we can never form another judgment again. Yeah. What this means is remaining at peace in perfect equanimity inside and being compassionate with everyone, especially yourself. When our minds drop all of its ideas about how people should be and empty simply accepts everything as it is, we start experiencing this very soft state of liberation inside. And this amazing feeling of freedom grows deeper with each day we practice it. We eventually will live in complete acceptance of what is and not become attached to any particular thought, desire, or belief. The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. Alan Watts. Have you ever watched someone receive a healing message? The longer you watch, the more your body relaxes, and you feel as if you're receiving the healing tool. Whatever we focus on is what we become. So, when we criticize, condemn, separate, and dwell on what's wrong with others and ourselves, our inner world becomes filled with separation, tension, and eventually dis-ease. Once we become aware of this habit, we can distance ourselves from it and eventually transcend the pattern. The beautiful thing about the mind is we can always change it. The beautiful thing about the mind is that we can always change it. Lisa Guyman. In a judgment-free mind, we are witnessing controlling, dominating, or judgmental thoughts passing through. Yet, we're not clinging to any of them. We simply do not identify with anything. We realize we are something that is free from all identification. This life then becomes a journey of letting go of the small, limited, egoic self who was wrapped up in all sorts of ideas of right and wrong, and each moment becomes a movement into the vast, boundless, unlimited potentiality of who we truly are. When the judgmental habit fully stops, we instantly feel a profound sense of inner peace, flooding throughout our body, heart, and souls. We become a living, breathing source of vast, unlimited energy and love. Waves of deep appreciation for this life naturally flow from us as we explore what it's like to be free from all suffering in this world. The judgment-free mind only sees the divine in everyone and everything. The mind may still regurgitate past ideas of what was right and what should be wrong, yet there is no ego identification that is clinging to them. That overly moralistic, ethical, analytical, righteous mindset could still be there lurking in the background, making commentary our entire lives. Yet it's just not running the show anymore. We are simply no longer entertained by it or its contracted beliefs and positions. We start understanding how right and wrong are not opposites, yet are complementaries. One depends on the other to exist. And so we abide in the middle, and we do not cling to either side. When we can free our minds from both sides of the pendulum of morality, our entire reality expands, causing every life experience to feel gentler, lighter, and freer. If you learn to sit with yourself, if you learn to sit with yourself, you can sit with anybody in this world. It is important to know that there is nothing wrong with being judgmental. Judging others and yourself is a profound tool that indicates when we are living from our ego up in the head. Judging lets us know we are about to create an extra burden to carry, making this life's journey even more heavy and arduous. This hard, heavy experience is needed to make us more aware and conscious of what we are choosing to believe. Judging ourselves and others is a stage in this life similar to passing through kindergarten. When we are in primary school, we think this is all there is to learn. We are supposed to be learning how to discern good from bad and right from wrong. Yet, as we all know, there are more advanced levels of education awaiting us ahead. When we are free from judgments, it is super easy to feel the infinite, eternal soul that we are. A mind that is truly unattached to all beliefs gives space for us to be divinely, infinitely connected with our infinite spiritual selves. Eternity becomes our natural experience of this life when the mind becomes incapable of clinging to anything. The non-judgmental mind behaves like a perfectly clean mirror. It reflects whatever is in front of it, discerning the level of contraction felt inside the body, yet it never holds on to anything. It continues flowing like an eternal river. This non-clinging way of being provides a spacious state of freedom inside that opens us up like the limitless sky above. We truly feel as if we have no boundary and no end to our being. A person starts to live when he can live outside of himself. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. Albert Einstein. These bodies that we're all in are perishable, but the dwellers in these bodies are eternal, indestructible, and impenetrable. Bhagavad Gita. When we graduate from judgment school, we realize that the ethical, moralistic, logical, rational, judgmental mind is no match for the spiritual presence within. We understand it's like holding a candle flame up to the sun. A candle flame simply disappears into the bright, blazing, glorious sunshine. The moment we realize our spiritual nature in this lifetime, we will surrender our judgmental ego to it. The moment we realize our spiritual nature in this lifetime, we will surrender our judgmental ego to it. We will begin focusing the mind on our spiritual source instead of the mind's right and wrong judgmental views. This great redirection of the mind wipes the mind clean of all perceptions and deceptions. This is the moment when we begin waking up and realizing the infinite eternal soul we already are. Once we can realize that we are the master of our mind, we will never be used by our mind again. We cannot become attached to the mind ever again unless we believe we are. We see that the mind is a tool we use to create a limited human experience of this life that is seemingly separated from our limitless, all-powerful spiritual source. The moment we see that we are all connected spiritually, and if we harm another, we are harming ourselves, then the search is over and enlightenment is found. Nothing is separate from the one spiritual source. The mind is what creates the illusion of separation. So the next time your mind tends to judge yourself or someone else as being totally right or totally wrong, take a step back and feel what it feels like to judge. How does it feel to carry this judgment in your heart? Inquire within and see the deeper pattern. Ask yourself, who am I to judge? What cannot I accept inside myself that I need to project out onto the world? What is that deeper part of me needing to feel, and how was my judgment an attempt in creating it? When awareness penetrates the judgmental mind, then freedom becomes our natural state. When awareness penetrates the judgmental mind, then freedom becomes our natural state. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. So my invitation for everyone this week might be quite challenging. Yet I want you to grow beyond your normal limitations. I invite you to watch your mind 24 hours a day and notice when you're judging and when you're in discernment. Notice the energetic emotional hooks in judgment and the open, non-sticky, lighter energy in discernment. When a strong judgment comes in, give it space to move through. Don't try to control, reject, or resist any judgments that spontaneously arise. Let the judgmental pendulum swing. Yet, let it truly swing to both extremes. See both sides of the coin. Find some truth in both opposing sides so that they finally cancel each other out. The mind can continue pulling us to just one extreme, saying only this can be true and that is not true. Yet, I invite you to be open, be curious, and investigate what beliefs your mind is attached to. What outcome is your mind convinced it needs to manifest? Notice how it feels when the judgmental mind is wrong and you are free from it. The mind is very sneaky. It can make any particular idea its God because the ego's survival depends on it. The mind is brilliant at making up these fantastic, small-minded, limiting stories about this multidimensional infinite reality and makes us believe they are actually true. Be aware of how your ego is always trying to attain some private goal. It's trying to get love, abundance, freedom, joy, safety, security, or something like that. Don't give the ego or your mind any more power. Remember, you don't take the ego with you when you die, right? Find out what you do take with you. You don't take the ego with you when you die. Find out what you do take with you. We are infinite beings. We need to remember this. We are all eternal souls, already connected to the highest all-knowing one God. We are not going to die. We will go on after the body retires. So you just relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride. Life is a river of meaningful experiences. When we are flowing with the true meaning in it. Unknown author. Know that we all are truly already awake, enlightened, loving, and free. When it comes down to it, we already have everything we need inside us to experience all the love, joy, and happiness we could ever desire. all efforting to get anywhere better than here, is simply divine misguidance. The universe is already amazing. We are already amazing. And this moment that we are all in right now is totally amazing. By sitting in awe of this amazingness that is already here now, we wake up to the spiritual immensity of our being. We suddenly stop playing small, end all of our suffering, and continuously step into the vastness of our totality. The pathway into enlightenment is a perpetual journey into the now. This wonderful yet treacherous journey involves getting to know ourselves very intimately, gently, and spiritually. When we break free from the hard, cold, calculating mind, we realize who we truly are is love itself. We then find out our life's spiritual mission and sole purpose is to radiate this love everywhere we are. When we know our real nature is the divine itself, we become desireless, selfless, and effortlessly remember how deeply, intimately, and infinitely connected we already are to the spiritual source inside it all. Nothing is lacking in any of us. We cannot be improved upon. People who try to improve you are destroying you. And they are the real mischief makers. There are so many improvers in this world. That's why the world is in such a chaos. There are so many improvers in this world, and that's why this world is in such chaos. There are too many people trying to improve you. Don't allow anybody to improve you. You are already the last word. You're not only the Alpha, you are the Omega also. You are whole, complete, and perfect. Even if you feel imperfect, that imperfection is perfect. Don't worry about it. It will look strange to others if you say that you are imperfection and that your imperfection is also perfect and nothing is lacking in you. Yet the fact is that you appear imperfect not because you are imperfect, but because you are a growing perfection. We think perfection cannot evolve because that we mean by perfection is that which has come to its fast growth. This definition of perfection is dead. God is perfect because God lacks nothing. God goes on growing from one perfection to another. The growth continues. God is evolution. Not moving from imperfection to perfection, but from perfection to more perfection, to still more perfection. Okay. You are the God in that body. You are perfection. You are divine perfection. You're the only thing that doesn't change. And the unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. So how is your year gone? How's it going for you? Have you been manifesting everything you wanted along the way? I'm curious. What have been your big wins and successes through this year? And in what way did you feel that you are falling short or failed? Take some time this week to deeply reflect on the last year of your life. Notice in what ways have you changed and haven't changed at all inside you and all around you. Reflecting upon our lives and who we are is not about judging ourselves or labeling ourselves in any way. It's more about taking a massive inventory on what makes us happy and what doesn't satisfy us any longer. Inner reflection and deep spiritual consideration helps us to realize more clearly what it is that we want and don't want to manifest and attract into our lives. It helps us to know ourselves better, respect ourselves more, which makes our path easier to walk upon each day. Finding a crystal clear distinction between what we do want and don't want is vital for our heart's contentment and ability to relax fully into our bodies so that we can deeply enjoy this amazing human ride, because that's what it is. It's a ride in these human bodies. As we are reflecting on our lives and what we've done so far this year, remember one thing, that what you did, every action you took, has everything and nothing to do with who you are. On one hand, the attitude you had each day towards yourself and this life greatly affected every single movement and intention that you acted upon every day. Everything you did and manifested in this world came from the state of mind you were currently abiding in. On another level, a deeper level, the pure spiritual essence, who we truly are, is unfazed and untainted by anything you did last year or could ever do in this material world. Our souls are always innocent, bright, beautiful, and perfect at the very core. Always. Nothing we could ever do or was done to us ever changes the fact that we are spiritual beings ultimately connected to God for eternity. This is the deepest spiritual path. This is the deepest spiritual path of our being and should always be respected when exploring any deep consideration about who and what we are. He who thinks he is the doer is also the sufferer. Ramana Maharishi. There are 3 simple suggestions for all of us to help us jump on our life and manifest everything our heart desires. Now, it's a choice. You follow these suggestions, and soon you'll see that you truly blossom and uncover the most wonderful, enriching, delightful experiences of your life you never knew were possible. Now, you can make an extensive list of all your dark parts and all your light parts, and get to know yourself in the deepest and most intimate ways. Find out everything you're still running from, avoiding, and afraid of, and everything that you love, treasure, and adore. Know that the darkest and lightest aspects of yourself are both needed so that you can make actual decisions in this life, have discernment, create direction, and step up on stage to play out the most amazingly meaningful role in this life that you could possibly imagine. Get in touch with your power of intention. After you have a clearer understanding of all your darkness and lightness, you'll have a better understanding of what your heart truly desires to manifest. From here, you can create intentions for the year that are solid, reliable, and that you can relax into. Remember, vague intentions always manifest into vague results. Vague intentions always manifest into vague results. To be super specific, exactly what you want to create, experience, manifest, and reveal in your life this year and the coming year. A life without an intention is like a boat without a steering wheel or rudder. We can feel trapped, lost, and powerless as we are constantly being blown across the seas of life wherever the wind decides to blow. Living a life with authentic intention is by far the most empowering way to live. We are manifesting machines anyway, who are always creating something in our lives. We are attracting either what we want or what we don't want all the time. We can never ever turn off the manifesting flow as long as we are living inside these human bodies. So we might as well get clear about what we want and intend to manifest into our future, because it is 100% certain that something is going to happen next year. When we create crystal clear intentions about what we want, this universe has a much better chance at delivering the goodies to us, knowing exactly in which direction our rudder is pointing. Be gentle with yourself no matter what happens. This life is going to throw us a few curveballs that we're not going to see coming. We may feel completely unprepared and unable to deal with them, and might even come down hard on ourselves for not handling the situation in the most sweet, loving, or conscious way. It's good to know that we cannot always be successful all the time in this life. Otherwise, we would never learn anything. It's our failures, if you want to call them that, and shortcomings that give us roots, that truly make us grow and evolve. This is why it's absolutely vital that we make the deep commitment to ourselves to be gentle, kind, soft, and easy on ourselves, no matter what this life throws at us. We can only do our best in this life, given the resources that we were given. So anchor in the habit to be kinder to yourself, forgive others and yourself quicker. Let go of the things that throw you emotionally off balance a little faster. The mind will always be there, discerning what's good and bad. So we don't have to identify with any judgment or criticism personally. We can sit back, be the observers on the sidelines, and just watch this amazing, dark and light, magical play of life unfold and act itself out on the stage. Now, there's many powerful affirmations, statements that some of us create for ourselves. We take the time to create it for ourselves. Now, this is a gift to everyone. It's a powerful affirmation prayer that you read to yourself every morning before you get out of bed. So you say to yourself, "Dear Beth, Jim," put your name in there. "This year is going to be the best year of my entire life. I am going to take care of my body." Now, understand, a lot of people do this, and it fades out, okay? Do this deeply from your heart, mind, okay? So when you say to yourself, "Dear Alan, this year is going to be the best year of my entire life. I am going to take care of my body, mind, and soul with more love, care, and consciousness, and conscious consideration than I ever have. I'm going to eat only those foods that bring my body into the highest vibration and consciousness possible. I'm going to exercise daily, build up even more energy, health, and vitality every day. I am going to open my heart with everyone, becoming more honest, vulnerable, and loving each new day. I am going to let go of every bad habit that doesn't support me in creating my highest health and consciousness, replacing it with a new habit that makes me feel more grounded, real, dependable, open, and available to love. I am 100% committed to myself, enjoying myself fully, and manifesting the most amazing life that I can imagine. I choose this or something better to manifest into my future right now. And so it is, and so it shall be." And you say to yourself, "Have an amazing year." We have this structural social arrangement on this planet. Throughout the eons, we have created this societal structure. It isn't one that will continue to stay in place. As each of us choose to go within and begin to learn exactly who and what we are in these bodies. And more people on this planet are choosing to do that and are doing it. Now, it isn't a boogeyman. It isn't a scary thing. For some, it might be because it's the unknown. Some people will say, what am I going to do if I meet the God that I am within me? See? It's like boogeyman time, and it isn't. It's exciting. What will I say when I meet the God within me? What will I do? How will I respond? Those are all ego-mind questions, not heart-mind. Heart-mind is, I am open to the God that I am. I embrace the God that I am. You could say higher self, spirit, pure consciousness, pure energy, however you want to label it. But by doing this, I could guarantee you, you will not turn back. You will not be interested in out there. And it doesn't mean that you're going to just, close the book on out there. Not at all. It means that, yeah, you'll go out there. You'll embrace things and do things, but you know that you are not of there. You will immediately know it's entertainment for me, right? So you'll be selective, and you won't be controlling, and you won't be ego-mind. You'll be heart-minded. And really curious about things. Do you think any of us, some people interpret it, when you're a so-called grown adult, right? And that, that's nosy. That's being nosy, okay? Actually, it's being curious. We're curious beings. It's just like when we have things come in and the ego mind pounds us with all kinds of thoughts and ideas and everything. And we look at those things and we say, I'm really curious about this. I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to take, it's like a fear or whatever it may be. I want to take a look at this and see why I am responding the way I am to this. And the more you turn that curiosity valve, the more you open it, the more these things that many of us feared and ignored and suppressed will vaporize. We will literally embrace them and out of curiosity probe them and find out, without judgment, find out exactly, okay, so why is this irritating me or hassling? Why doesn't it not go away? And the more curious we become within, right, and all these things that we are presented with, we no longer turn our backs. We smile, we open our hearts, and we say, come on in, sit a spell. I'm really curious about you. And whatever it may be. I mean, you can sit there and say, why does it snow? It's like, remember when you were a kid? Why does it snow? What causes it to snow? Why is it snowing in one place on the planet and ridiculously hot on another place on the planet? These are all curiosity questions that we ask ourselves. Why do batteries on vehicles lose their power and have to be replaced? And then curiosity, why is it raining? Well, then you start looking at the rain and see what the rain does. Because rain is one of the elementals. And it gives energy to all the plants, to us, to everything. Without water, we could not stay in these bodies, period. We couldn't without water. But yet, we take that water for granted, don't we? If we did not have fire, right? Fire is immense energy. If we didn't have fire, how would we stay warm? Fire is converted into other energies. How would we stay warm? Heating fuel has to be fired. Gas has to be fired. Gasoline in a vehicle has to be fired. Combustion. Without fire, how would we exist? Not too good, if at all. Through air, how would we exist without air? We wouldn't. That's a dead given. Literally, we would be forced to leave the body prematurely. And then when you don't have gas, you don't have anything, you have wood. Wood needs to be fired in order to heat. It's all dependent, all interacting, all linked. It's just like if we don't take care of these bodies, we leave them. And some of us get pretty attached to these bodies and pretty attached to this physical world. And that's why the fear comes in. What's the fear? The fear is we don't care to leave the body. Okay? And as time goes by, we start worrying more and more about leaving the body instead of concentrating and focusing on how wonderful this life is. And every year gets better and better and better. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath in, out from the mouth. Remain still. No matter how small or stuck you feel, you can always find a way to transcend it. For today, I invite you to dream big. Let yourself explore a new dimension of your greatest power, your imagination. Start with creating a movie image or what you want your life to look like, feel like, sound like, taste like. And hold that vision all day long. Anytime your mind wanders, return to it. Stick to it like super glue for this one day, as much as you can. And you will be pleasantly surprised how much you stretch yourself and your mind with this one exercise. So enjoy it. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Friday, December 16th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging call. Be good to yourself.